Thanks a lot for joining us again on TVC Breakfast. So nation building is a collective effort requiring a shared sense of identity and pride. A crucial aspect of achieving this is by projecting a positive image of Nigeria to the world. A nation's image can either attract or repel investment, tourism, and global partnerships. By promoting a positive narrative about Nigeria, we can showcase our rich cultural heritage and diversity, highlighting our resilience and entrepreneurial spirits which have enabled us to thrive despite challenges. This, in turn, can attract foreign investment and tourism, fostering global partnerships and collaboration. Well, that's what we want to discuss now. Joining us in the studio is the Vice Chairman, Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, Lagos Chapter, Samuel Ayetutu. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Kemi.
Again, this whole concept of public relations, how it enhances government, is topical at this time now, especially when you come to the issue of trust deficit. Help us, understand what government is lacking or missing, and where are we now in terms of harnessing the potential of public relations?
Thank you for that question. Let me take it first and foremost from the critical point that you just made, which is about how important trust is in the issue of reputation building. Everyone understands that we have a huge issue on our hands when it comes to managing the reputation of the country. We are doing a lot of things. We are getting a lot of things right. We are not getting some very right yet. It's work in progress. But the challenge is how much of focus do we have on the good sides of the things that we are doing as a nation. So at this point, we're excited in the public relations ecosystem that for the first time, or let me say more than ever before, the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations is taking the center stage on the issue of who mans the reputation gate of the country. We are going about it in a much more coordinated and systematic approach. Good enough that the current administration at the national level has paid a lot of premium on the role that public relations professionals have to pay. It's just like a situation where the doctors and medical personnel took charge of the situation during the COVID-19 pandemic. Everybody looks up to them for information and for direction and for advice. So that is the stage we are right now in Nigeria. Public relations practitioners, through what has just been created, which is known as the Nigerian Reputation Management Group, put together by the national president, Dr. Ekene Liaku. It was unveiled on the 15th of October, just about 2 months ago. And what is that helping us to achieve is a framework through which stakeholders will come together and support government to change the narratives. So trust, like you mentioned, is a key part of the values that are articulated under the Nigerian Reputation Management Group. So we are saying that for the reputation to change to what we want it to be, there must be certain elements that must be thrown up in the way we do our things. And apart from trust, we have the issue of ethics. We have the issue of professionalism. We have the issue of inclusivity. And then we also have the issue of communication. And lastly, we also have the issue of ownership. So we are saying that, coming back to trust, for instance, government and the people must move away from where they are and get to a point where we can upscale the level of trust that is mutually shared between across the two sides. So individuals, organizations, and government must now carry out their activities in such a way that the people that they are dealing with can trust them to be sure that if they say we are going to deliver A at so time, it actually happens as such, because that is where to start from before we are able to now say to the world that this is whom we are.
That's right. So if you look at, I love the fact that you likened it to the pandemic period where we had, doctors, everyone, right there ready to, tackle the situation as they emerged. Yeah. But then Nigeria's reputation outside of the country on the global stage is quite different. Despite the economic strength that Nigeria has, opportunities that Nigeria, has, Nigeria is seen as, through the prism of misgovernance, governance challenges, insecurity, maybe corruption one way or the other. And we saw that the president is, striving hard to market Nigeria to different countries. Just came back from Brazil, went to France, went to South Africa, etc. What communication strategies do you think the NIPR, for instance, can help put in place to ensure that not just the president, not just the people in government, but those on the social media who would always see everything bad about Nigeria, and whenever they see some things good about Nigeria, they just look the other way?
Okay, thank you, Brian. In the first place, when we talk about reputation, on the professional scale, we believe reputation is bettered. It doesn't happen by accident. It's bettered, it is nurtured, and it is sustained. So, and what that tells us is that we have to start from home. So when the president goes to France to talk about what the outside world could do with Nigeria so that there can be mutual benefit, what are we doing at home? And what are we saying? Are we complementing the efforts of the president, which speaks to your question? So the strategy, as far as NIPR is concerned, is the issue of having what I called that coordinated approach to supporting government to change the narratives. So, for instance, the products that are under this National Reputation Management Group initiative are numerous. One of them is what is known as a National Reputation Day. So we are saying that there must be a day that every one of us is focusing on the reputation of Nigeria. That is the agenda that everyone is pushing. So across social media, across various groups that we belong to, we are all showing concern and talking about it. And then we have the National Reputation Summit. The summit will take place every year, and is usually expected to be a big event where everyone who matters in dealing with the issue of reputation management will come together, offer ideas, and then they are articulated and sent to stakeholders who will have to carry on the implementation. And then we also have the what is called the National Reputation Champions. So what is being done under this is to identify iconic individuals who in their right can be undoubtedly referred to as people who are pulling their weight in terms of helping to push the right narrative about Nigeria. And then we also have the National Reputation Publication and Report. So we also have the National Reputation Charter. We have advisory a role that the reputation group will also play. So in a nutshell, the communication professionals, especially public relations people, have now been allowed to occupy a center stage, such that beyond the people who have the primary role of managing information in government agencies and other strata within the society, there is this set of people who is constantly interfacing with government, and also the people looking at where the gaps are and covering, finding a way to bridge the gap. And of course, like in Lagos State, part of the things that we are doing at the chapter is to continuously comb the environment, sift out those that are distinguishing themselves, because times are hard. There is decadence in moral, and ethical standards are not the way we actually want them to be. So we're asking ourselves, in the face of all of this, who are those people who are still managing to give a good account of themselves as professionals, who are ethically going about promoting their brands and giving professional services to the individuals or organizations that they serve? And that's what the La Priga event is all about, which is coming up next Friday at the Museum Center.
Right. So this enhancing reputation initiatives that you spoke about 4 of them, if I'm correct, are they like being managed by the NIPR?
Yes, NIPR is the initiator of the Nigeria Reputation Management Group, and the federal government has bought into it and taken ownership of it. So that's what is called there's a board of Nigerian Institute of Public Relations that is chairman by the president, Dr. Ekeneliaku. So that board was it was a board that put together seasoned people who could offer services in this respect. And they constitute the National Reputation Group. So when we talk about National Reputation Management Group, we're essentially talking about public relations practitioners at topmost level coming together to constantly monitor the way the reputation of the country is going and initiating programs to adjust, to make necessary adjustments as much as possible. And for instance, why are we always talking about the bad sides of our society? Well, what is motivating us to do that? Those are questions that will be answered through the research arm of the National Reputation Group. It's not just a talking thing. There are serious work behind the scene that is going into this. Governor of Sanwo-Olu just was in there was this some 2,000 or more graduates of the technical schools were just released into the society. Governor Sanwo-Olu was there, and it's something that is supposed to be heartwarming. He personally congratulated them and charged them to go and fill those gaps that are existing. But when we put that beside the narrative of there's huge unemployment in the country, which one helps our reputation? So that's an example of the direction in which we are saying that everyone should go. But this is not going to happen naturally. It has to be systematically managed, and that is what NIPR is taking the lead on at this time.
So in talking about this conference, is it meant for everyone to attend, or is just for select few people to attend rather? Is it free?
Okay.
You mentioned Museum Center.
Yeah.
I got that right. So is it free attendance for anyone?
What happens, the process is that if you are a practitioner, you send in your entry to say that I have done so and so, which I think qualifies me for award in so category. So the award selection committee will now look at it. They will look at yours in relation to other people's entries, and they will decide who deserves to be given the award, and then you are notified and you come for the award. So what the essence is to ensure that those who are doing well are celebrated. We are looking at creativity, we are looking at innovation, we are looking at brilliance, we are looking at resilience. And what that will mean is that more and more people will understand that whatever you are doing as a practitioner, you are being watched, and it could either speak for against you in the process of your career development. And the belief is that once we are able to continuously do well in that area, that will be part of the things that will aggregate for the society to understand that storytelling has to always be on the positive line for the benefit of the country. So it's Friday 13th of December at the Museum Center, starting from 6 p.m. And you are invited.
Well, thank you very much.
Free, yeah.
Away from the conference, though, we also see the government on a drive to enhance its activities. That formed one of the crux behind its recent rejigging, where some ministers had to be axed, so to speak, because they didn't project their ministries enough. Is that also in line with what the Institute, the NIPR, is desiring for the country?
Yes, how I will link that to us as professional PR people is on the note of the importance of feedback. Feedback is very crucial in governance, and even at the family level. A father wants to be concerned about what his children are saying about him, and that is what we think was responsible for the rejigging that we all saw. If you monitor the social media platforms and what even the traditional media was saying about the ministers, you will see that we already got to a point where we were scoring them according to what we think they deserve. Now, for public relations practitioners, our role will be that going forward, we will continue to comb the environment, understand what the people are saying about the individuals and the organization that we serve, which is very critical to our role as professionals. Okay. And at any point in time that we believe is crucial for us to do so, we will advise government at various levels, and that will be for the benefit of the society at large.
All right. We have run out of time, but we thank you very much for your contributions on the program today. Vice Chairman, Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, Lagos Chapter, Samuel Ayetutu. We appreciate your time with us.
Thank you very much for having me.